guys, welcome if you're new, and welcome back if you're not new to my YouTube channel. And if you don't know who I am, hi, I'm Nanika, and please make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and don't forget to turn on your post notifications so that whenever I post you'll be alerted. Okay, now let's get into the video. As you can tell by the title of this video, it's Sip and Talk, and I think it's something interesting to do where we talk about interesting issues, interesting stuff, story times, both my experiences and other people's experiences, and we pick the lessons that we can learn from it, right? Yeah. So since it's a Sip and Talk session, we have to sip on something. So yeah, this is mine. Don't worry, you can pause the video and go grab yours and come back and sit down and then let's chat. Okay, I'll be talking to you and you'll be talking back to me in the comment section, and we're going to learn a lot of lessons together, right? Okay, so let's get right into it. As you can tell by the title, we're going to talk about friendship heartbreaks, which I feel is not a topic that we talk about a lot. It's not a topic that is mostly talked about. Like, people talk about in passing, people talk about it, but it's not talked about as much as romantic heartbreaks are talked about. Am I lying? No, I'm not. So, well, it's something that I have experienced, and I think that it's prudent to talk about it. Please, me, if you ask me, I cannot relate to romantic heartbreaks, so maybe we can pick lessons from other people's stories, but that is for another video. Okay, so let's get into friendship heartbreaks. And like, I have this story that I really tell people that, like, when they get to know me, because it's one of the biggest things, like interesting things that happened to me when I was pretty young, and it has stayed with me. Like, I still remember it like yesterday, and that's crazy. And that goes to show you how such things can really affect people, and it should be talked about more. So, story time, right? Yeah, story time. Let's go. Storyteller mode activated. So it was in the year 2011, long ago. Yes, anyway, so it was in 2011. That's how this whole thing started. Okay, so 2011 I transitioned into class 5, so 9 years going on 10. Yes. And then when we got to class 5, like in the new academic year, we were shuffled. So in my school we have 4 streams. My basic school, we had 4 streams. So let's say, let me use alphabets. So A, B, C, D. So class 5A, class 5B, class 5C, class 5D, right? So that's how we're divided. So we were reshuffled, and like all my friends that were in class 4, class 3 with me were no longer with me in class 5. So we had to make new friends, and class 5 was like an interesting phase because that was when we were transitioning into adolescence, and people started to become aware of themselves, and crashes and all those things started happening, and we were learning about adolescence and all that in class 5, right? So that's how interesting of a phase class 5 was. So the first day, I think, yes, the first day, first break, we stepped out. I stepped out of the class, and I ended up working with 4 other girls. So we spent the break time together. Then after that, we went back to class and we spent second break together as well. And it was suggested that why don't we form a group, be friends. I mean, we are all new in the class, we're all looking for friends, people are making friends. So since we ended up working together, why don't we form a group? And we all said, okay, chill, cool, like, yeah, it makes sense. And the vibes were cool and all of that, right? Yeah, so we formed the group. And then one person who later become sort of the leader of the group, she was reading a book by Enid Blyton called Famous Five, and she suggested that we use it. We're five, so why don't we call ourselves Famous Five? Yeah. And well, we all thought that, oh, why not? It's cool, like it's a good idea. Wow, what a coincidence. Like, we're five and you're reading a book of Famous Five. So we took the name and we went through class 5, all of that, being good friends. And to be honest with you, I did not know that we had literally become like a squad. Like it just sort of transitioned into that, right? I'm used to like having friend groups, friends and all that, but never been in a squad. We started having like things that we're doing, like traditions and all that good stuff. We even had traditions where like you call something spreading, so the one who brings a lot of money that day will spread the group. And we kind of sort of had a leader, like she was the most popular girl in our batch. And so I don't know, you watch high school movies, outside, and kind of how those cliques were. I think we were to some extent like that, because like there was a leader, and then there was like the right hand, and then there were the three innocent people. Were the three innocent people that were parts of the group. So class 5 went on smoothly, and then we went to class 6. And that's where it gets interesting. So we got to class 6, and I think we're not shuffled, so we all ended up, the 5 of us ended up in the same class, and we're all excited. So then when we got to class 6, a girlie, me, had my first ever crush. Yeah. At 10 going on 11 or something, 11 in class 6. So I had my first ever crush, and well, it was new to me. However, I wasn't too scared because we learned it in class 5 in social studies. We constantly learn it in class 6. Like those are things that are natural and will happen when one is transitioning into adolescence, right? So I have friends like these people. I walk with them every day. When they have crushes, they come and sit and all that. So finally, I'd had my first crush, and I told them. Now let me give you context to like how our sitting arrangement in class was. So in a class there are 4 columns. So column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, and then there are like 5 or 6 rows in the class. So 4 columns, 5 rows. I hope you get it. And so in like every column, everybody and their sitting partner. So when you're entering a class, the leader of the group was sitting in column 2, row 2, and I was in column 3, row 3. So like we were adjacent to each other but not in the same column. Do you get? So we're next to each other but not in the same column. And then my sitting partner was a boy, and her sitting partner was a boy who was my crush at the time. So we're in the same row. So you build a relationship with your sitting partner and all that. So I told them that, I started having a crush on this boy, and they were like, okay, cool. It's like they were happy and excited for me, right? Yes. They're happy and excited for me, and I said, okay, cool. And then, like, later on, the leader, who was the boy sitting partner, came to tell me that, she has told the boy, and he also said he has a crush on me. That is what she said, right? So I said, okay, cool, nice. Like, I was happy, my first ever crush, and the boy's crushing back on me. Like, you know, it was a flex. And at that time, the boy was like one of those boys that had developed very fast. His base had come, so he was kind of, like an it boy in the badge, kind of. So I was excited, like, but this boy likes me back, even though, like, I'm not one of the fastest growing girls, in the batch. Some people had developed very, very fast. Mine was taking its time. Okay, as you can see, I have a baby face, so you can imagine at this age I still have a baby face. You can imagine back then, like, so many years ago, so many, 2011 to now, like, that's crazy. And imagine all those years ago how I looked. So I was excited that one of the group, like, likes me back, is crushing on me back. Well, that is nice, right? They claim that, he used to write letters and they'll be reading it to me, all that, all that, all that. Then one day, but they never let me read it. They never ever let me read it. I never saw those letters. But to be honest, I was just trusting my friends, giving them the benefit of the doubt. Always reading it to me, but I never saw anything. So till now, I do not know if it was blank sheets or they were just reading whatever it is. I don't know. Anyway, so one of those terms, they told me that, the boy wanted to talk to me. So closing time.
Sorry guys, but I lost the clip, so let me continue the story. Voice over me here. So they told me that the boy wanted to talk to me closing time. They had arranged for the boy to talk to me. And I said, okay, sure, no problem. So I waited after class to talk to the boy. And yeah, I forgot who my mother was. Instead of me going to the car park to wait for my mother, I was here talking to my crush. Oh, young mind. So I was talking to him. Then all of a sudden, I saw my mom coming from the other side holding a broken tree branch. Nobody told me to run. Hey, I ran for my life, y'all. I ran to the car. I forgot that my crush was sitting over there because it's me and my mom that is going home. Oh. Yeah, but that was just a little story time. Um, I ran to the car and I was praying that my mom does not lash me when she gets to the car. And it's like my parents had answered when she came, she did not lash me, and she just warned me, and that was it. So I just learned one lesson from there. Please, when you go to the car park and forget to crash. Enjoy the rest of the video, guys.
And then we go through class 6, third term. We've written our last exam, and then it's vacation week. So at vacation week, there's usually activities until we vacate on Thursday. So there's our day and other things. So I think on that last day that we're going to vacate, one of the guys that was sitting in front of me, you know, they were also good. I was also good friends with them. So he came to me and he told me that your friends are planning something. Like, they're planning something great, y'all. And this is where it gets interesting. I'm coming. This is where it gets interesting. So they told me that he told me that my friends are planning something, and I was really wondering what is it that they are planning. And he told me exactly what they're planning. That they were planning to embarrass me, in front of people by saying that my crush did not like me. Instead, he liked the other girl, the second madam of the group, or the right hand of the leader of the group. He liked her. Oh my gosh! And I was like, okay, cool. That wouldn't really have been a shock. But the way they were planning on going about it was what shocked me. And to be honest, I was not surprised. But I still decided to give them the benefits of the doubt that, oh, maybe they'll call me aside and tell me instead of doing it in front of so many people. But guys, guess what?
Uh-oh.
He was right. They did it in front of everybody. Like, we had literally closed and everyone was outside of their classrooms playing, saying goodbye for the vacation. People were leaving the school to other schools, while some of us were continuing on to JHS. Yes, they did it. They came to shout, so they don't really like you, but he rather liked her. And then I was shocked, but I handled it so well. Shocked, but I think I handled it so well because I was like, oh, okay, well, I knew about it, or I know about it, so no problem. And I turned and walked away, guys. And then, you know what? I turned and walked away, and I just started to, forget about it and just, walk. I don't know what was happening to me that I didn't really react or cry or anything. Like, I was very shocked at my reaction. So the guy later came to tell me that, do you know, your friends later, like, they came back to that place and they were saying they didn't like the way you reacted. They wanted to see hurt or like some kind of reaction that would give them satisfaction that they have achieved what they wanted to achieve. But because this good person, God bless him, decided to tell me, I was able to do this, and not give them the satisfaction of what they were looking for. And like later on, I just got pissed off and I wrote a letter to the boy. And I gave it to my cousin to give it to him, and I told her to tell him that he should never talk to me again. And guys, I was just pissed off. I didn't really mean it, but till date, after all those years, I've never spoken to him again. That's crazy. But anyway, that is what happened. And after that, when we closed, closing time, sometimes parents don't come early, so my mom didn't come early to come and pick us. So I was like, okay, cool. So I was just walking around with my cousin, and then it came up to me and they were saying that I should hug the girl, I should hug her. And I was like, oh, why not? So I hugged her and I was like, no hard feelings. And I just walked away. Yeah. And then, see, long story short, yeah, the friendship ended in the most unimaginable way possible. Like, what? We've been friends for 2 years. And I didn't even get a good goodbye. Like, if you didn't want me in the group, you could just end the friendship without having it to be so embarrassing. And funny enough, at the end of the day, all the others left the school. The one who was crushing on the boy, or who he was crushing on instead of me, she left the country. And the leader and I were still in the school, but she never spoke to me. I never held any grudge against her, but we never really crossed paths, Yeah, but passing good. She never really spoke to me. We never really crossed paths. Surprisingly, yeah. But thinking about it, it's, how do I say this? It kind of shaped how I made friends from then. I avoid squads like a plague. Even if I'm in a friend group, everybody's their own person. Nobody is madam, those squad dynamics, no. And I take my time to study people, and it's not only about our vibes match so we can be friends. No, we can be acquaintances, or and you can still vibe. But to have friends, I think we should be intentional about the friends that we pick, the friends that we make, because these people showed me premium shaggy. And to be honest, I don't even know if what was a lie or what was the truth. So apart from the lesson of intentional friendships, I think that another lesson that I picked was not to ignore red flags. Like, if someone is your friend right now, don't ignore red flags, because I think I did. But to be honest, I was just 11. What did I know about the world? Like, who would have thought that this will happen? Like, it's crazy. Honestly, I was so innocent in the world and really don't understand, kind of like how 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, wow, could do that. But let me just say, I learned the hard way. Yeah, I learned the hard way. But it was good because, I mean, it shaped the way I picked friends from then on, yeah. And okay, so that is the end of my story time, and those are the lessons that I picked. But then I do have one question that I think we can answer in the comment section, because I'm genuinely curious. um is closure really important? Is closure really needed, when there's a friendship breakup or whatever type of relationship breakup? Is closure really important? Because sometimes you have questions. Like right now, I'm not in contact with any of them, right? I'm not in contact with any of them, and honestly, I feel like maybe they may have forgotten about this whole thing, but because it happened to me, that's why I remember it so vividly. So like, I can't just go and be asking questions. So guys, tell me, is closure really needed? Like, because I can't go and ask them questions, as I said earlier. So, but I do have questions, because sometimes I wonder, what at all did I do, to deserve this kind of, end to the friendship. You could have just told me, or if the other girl liked the boy, could have just said it, and then we'll end it amicably. Because honestly, class 6, I'm not going to date the boy, to be honest. What am I doing dating class 6? Like, people maybe started dating that early, but it was never in my mind, never crossed my mind to even date that early, because I've been through university and I did not date. So what's that going to be doing in class 6? But anyway, yeah, so please do answer me in the comment section. Let me know if you think closure is needed, to have all your unanswered questions answered, or just come to terms with the fact that you may not have all your answers, so you just have to let it go and move on. Yeah, but I do think that friendship breakups are a big thing, but we don't talk about it a lot, and people do have heartbreaks for it, because I still remember it like yesterday, more than a lot of things. Yeah, but anyway, let me know if you like more sip and talk sessions, and let me know what you want me to talk about, and I'll consider it. And if I do have a story time, I'll bring it here and we're going to talk about it. Okay, so please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on your post notifications, so whenever I post, you will be alerted. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.